looking at? The temple.
I guess it looks like a tomb.
Entrance to somewhere.
Okay.
Tomb?
A palace. Okay, it's a gate, everybody. This is a gate.
Spot on.
This is a gate system. This is one of the oldest gates ever discovered in Israel. If you read a little thing on the way in, it dates to about 1800, 1700 BC. BC. You know, so some of the gates we've been looking at, well, Canaanites are older, stone gates, Israelite gates. This is, you know what that's made out of? Okay, it's not made out of stone. It's made out of mud brick. It's a mud brick gate. So this is a mud brick gate, one of the oldest gates in all of Israel. And it dates to the time of 1800 BC. And in terms of biblical chronology, that's really the time of Abraham. And so this gate has been affectionately termed the Abraham Gate. So this is the Abraham Gate. And you know, we thought, and you know, and people who study architecture and everything thought that it was the Romans who invented arches. Well, no. You see the arch there? Obviously, this is reconstructed, everybody. But you see the arch, they got a little arch there, and you go through the gate. They sealed it off now. But then there would have been another gate with an archway further in, and then another gate that would lead down into the city. So this was an arched mud brick gate from 1800 BC, the time of Abraham. That's pretty cool. This is an old gate, mud brick gate. Now, and that would be cool enough if that's all we said. But all along this trip, I mean, how many times have we read Genesis 12? How many times have we talked about Abraham? You know, leave your country, leave your people, leave your father's house, and go to the land I will show you. And so Abraham starts making that trek from Ur, right, of the Chaldees, over there in, you know, Iraq. And he starts coming up the Tigris and Euphrates River Valley, up over the north side, right through the Fertile Crescent. Remember the Fertile Crescent thing I showed? Okay, he's coming up over that Fertile Crescent. And then this is where he would begin to come down, right here, into the land of Israel, into the land that God had promised and shown him and was going to carry out his redemptive purpose for the whole world. And Abraham was, I guess, the first domino in God's salvation plan. Genesis 12. He's the first one. Everything goes back to Abraham, right? I'm going to bless you. I'm going to bless the nations. Somebody's coming from you. It's going to be a Messiah. It's going to be a deliverer. You know, all that stuff. Abraham was domino number one. Then everything goes all the way to Jesus. And here's, just as I stand here, I think about this. That story of redemption that began with Abraham, that culminated with Jesus, and it's made it all its way to us now because of Jesus' death, resurrection, and his Holy Spirit. That whole story, that whole plan began with a man who walked through that gate into the land that God had shown him, into the land of Israel. I don't know, I'm an Abraham person. I think Abraham's the second most important person in the whole Bible. You know, the Jews in Jesus' day loved Moses. We are Moses people. We are Torah people. Moses gave us the Torah. We love Torah. And then Paul has to come along, and he has to kind of correct them and say, no, actually, not only do you not even understand Moses, but he's not even the most important person in the Old Testament. And then he has to kind of correct him and say, no, Abraham is. Because Abraham came first. Before the Torah came Abraham. Before the law came the promise. And so it all begins with Abraham. And a promise that God made to him. He followed it. He came here. He lived out the story. And it all began as he walked through that gate. That's what impresses me about this place. Because I love Abraham. Christianity is the religion of Abraham. We're all here because of Abraham. We're sitting here because of Abraham. And it all started by walking through that gate. So, cool thing. That's all I want to say. Impressive. Take your pictures of one of the oldest gates, mud brick gate, so-called Abraham Gate.